if the screen goes blank, if something goes wrong with the stream, just refresh and it'll come right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to round 4 of 5 Swiss rounds tonight. Friday Night Magic from Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. We've got 2 3-0 players here tonight. There are 2 3-0 matchups. This is one of them. Playing on the left, Casey Skibbe, one of our West Virginia University guys who's in for holiday vacation. He's playing Esper Control, which should be good. Haven't had a white-based control deck on the camera for a while. He's playing against Chris Harless. I'm going to go ahead and say he's playing Rakdos Aggro. That's what he's been playing the last few weeks. I'm not sure exactly if he's playing that, but we will find out soon enough. Like I said, round 4 of 5. My name is Zachary Evans. Can't remember if I said that or not. I don't really know if anyone cares, but I'm going to say it anyway. I am here by myself tonight, as we do not have a co-host, but one of many people will be joining us shortly. As they become available. So like I said, 2 3-0 players. The winner of this match will be able to draw into the top 8. The loser will still be drawing live. They have kicked my camera, so I'm going to go out and adjust it, and I will be right back. Apologize for that. One of the biggest problems with being by myself, other than the fact that there's a lot of dead air on the broadcast, is that I have to, when there's anything go wrong out there, I have to go do it myself. So Chris is in fact playing Rakdos Aggro. So this is going to be a tough matchup for Skibbe, as he is often called. It's a pretty good start. Supreme Verdict obviously is going to get there if and when it makes an appearance, but Chris with a pretty good start here. And there's the aforementioned, oh no, it's Soren. So he's playing more of Esper Walkers, I would guess. Give or take Esper Walkers. Going to make a vampire token. Obviously not the 4-drop that he necessarily wanted in this spot, but still pretty good. It's going to absorb some damage probably. It does provide a blocker. So a Hellrider comes down. That's very good. Now he can redirect the damage to Soren, which he does, and then he's going to block and take 6. If you were watching us earlier with discussing the new Gatecrash spoilers, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Hellrider. So Casey, you're doing some math. He's got an Elixir of Immortality, which can put him up to 13. I think it still kills him. He's going to take 12. Oh no, he's going to take 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 4, 13 exactly off of triggers plus damage, so that won't work. He's got a Tameo. He can tap down the Hellrider, only take 6 damage. Well, he's just going to pack it in. That was a quick one, but that's what happens when the control deck plays a Rakdos deck in Game 1. So the quickest game of the night so far as Chris Harless moves up 1-0. That's just the way it goes sometimes. And while these men go to their sideboards, let's talk a little business. As always, want to thank the fine folks here at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. That's right, I said West Virginia. The premier and currently only Magic live stream coming from West Virginia. Lost Legion's got 4 stores spread around the state, Beckley, Princeton, South Charleston, and Parkersburg. We are a convenient couple hour drive away, day trip away from Pittsburgh, Columbus, Cleveland if you really want to stretch it, Cincinnati, Lexington, Roanoke, and Blacksburg. So go to LostLegionGames.com for more information and get a calendar of events. If you ever have a Grand Prix trial or something like that, it's definitely worth the trip in. We'd love to have you. Good people, good prices, good service. We appreciate them letting us do this. 6:30 Eastern every week we broadcast Friday Night Magic right here from this broom closet in the back of the store. Twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic is obviously where the stream is. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, come and check us out some week. If you can't make your FNM, come watch ours. In addition to that, I want to remind everyone, or at least tell everyone, if I can find it. There it is. For those of you who are regional here in the States, here in the Midwest/East Coast, there's a big contingent of us heading up to Star City Games Open Series in Columbus next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, January 5th and 6th, at the Greatest Columbus Convention Center downtown in Columbus, Ohio. So if you're planning on making the trip, definitely get in touch with us on our Facebook page, in the chat, on Twitter, YouTube. Give us a call, give us a note somehow. We would love to meet you, get some feedback about the stream, chat with the people that we've broadcast to over the last 5 months. It should be a lot of fun. And even if you're not thinking, even if you say to yourself, I don't want to go, it's too much money to play in the event, I don't know if I'm good enough, you don't have to play in the event to have a good time there. Lots of trading, vendors, casual games going on. So make it out if you can. Back to action. Now that I've run everybody off with my advertisements, but we do want to make sure that the folks here at Lost Legion get some notice. Not nearly as fast a start from Chris this game. Gravecrawler follows up a Diagraph Ghoul as Casey just plays lands. I see a Negate in his hand. I see a Tribute to Hunger. Nope, it's an island. Negate. Supreme Verdict's coming down next turn. So he's going to take 6 total off the Messenger. Verdict will come down. Why he didn't sync... Oh, he just drew the Syncopate. Drew Syncopate 1 turn too late. So he's going to go down to 6 off of the... and there's a... Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Goes down to 2. And this match could be over very, very quickly. He's got a Jace in his hand. Well, that was a quick one, folks. I apologize for that, but these guys hadn't played on camera before. They were both 3-0, like I said. And I do want to make sure that I point out that these guys don't necessarily always want to play on camera. It is a kind of a daunting task to have several hundred people watch you play and scrutinize everything. So I appreciate these guys playing on camera for us. And stuff like that. I'm going to go out and see if I can find another feature match, as we do have a lot of time left in the round. So just stick with me here for a second. Before I go, might as well throw up one more advertisement, since I've been doing it all night. But I mentioned before, if you're going to Columbus, you want to get in touch with us, here are the ways you can do it. These are also great ways to support the stream. We don't ask for any kind of financial compensation, obviously, but you can help us out a tremendous amount without ever spending a dime. Just follow us on all our various social media formats. YouTube.com/ZachSellsMagic is our archive. Everything we've ever recorded is available there. At ZachSellsMagic on Twitter is my personal Twitter account. General Magic commentary throughout the week and notifications about the stream, round matchups, giveaways, etc., etc. Go to Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic or ZachSellsMagic.com. It will redirect you there. That is the main way you can support us. Like our page, friend us. There's daily content up there, 2 or 3 times a day, interesting links, discussions, articles, promotions, giveaways, all kinds of things. If you want to pick Max Turner's deck for 2 weeks from now for the next FNM, he's playing Burn at the Stake tonight because you guys picked it last week, so we'll start the polling process again next week. Go to Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic to interact with us there, and obviously if you're watching live now on Twitch, you know where the stream is, twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic. If you're watching on YouTube, come check us out live sometime if you can. And if you're watching right now, make sure to click on the follow button above the video window on the left. not only does it help out our numbers, but they will send you an email notification anytime our stream goes live. So stick with me. I'm going to walk outside, see if I can find another match, and we will be right back. Alright, I'm back. We found you another match. Okay, so here's the deal. I went back and forth on this. I know that it's much more fun for everyone if we have different decks on, and I try to put different decks on. So for those of you just joining us, so Max Turner is playing a deck that the stream voted on this week, which is Birth Estate Combo. It's an Izzet-based combo deck with Epic Experiment. And he was on in round 2, and we saw him win. And then, also, as we see Adam Vickers, he's here. The local legend is in the house. But we also saw Zach Viglianco, who's playing Primal Surge combo deck with Door to Nothingness. They got paired against each other in round 4, and so it took all of my willpower to not put them on as the feature match since they'd both been on already tonight. But when the first round ended and I walked outside, and literally no other table was in between games than they were, I could not resist. So, Burn at the Stake versus Primal Surge. That's who you got. If these guys, Maxx is up a game, I think he's a big favorite in this matchup. But if this one ends quickly again, I'll get you another real matchup. But you know what? I'm just pulling rank. It's my stream. I do the work on it, and I want to see these guys have a good time playing Magic. One way or the other, somebody's going to do something fun. The win and in round's coming up. The top 8's coming up. You're going to get all of your Tier 1 Star City Grand Prix style decks. But we're going to have a little bit of fun here. So that's who's coming up. So that's what's going on. These guys are shuffling up. Still got over 30 minutes left in the round. Like I said, Max is he is up a game here, and we've been talking about these decks all night. But for the few of you who may not know, so here's the basic consensus of what's going on here. Max is playing Epic Experiment Burn at the Stake, as voted on by our Facebook fans in the feature we call Max Turner Needs a Deck. Basically, there's a week of polling. We let you guys suggest decks, and then we have a final vote, and then Max comes here and rocks it at FNM. So if you want to get in on that, we'll start the new round next week. So go to facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Make sure to like our page, subscribe to it, and then get in on that as we pick a new deck form next week. I've already told people I'm gonna throw my favorite archetype in the ring there. I think Max should play Stuffy Doll next week, or in 2 weeks. It'll be every 2 weeks he actually plays the deck. But so it should be fun. So his deck uses a lot of token generators, uses Faithless Looting, Wild Guess to burn through his cards, then cast rituals like Infernal Plunge, isn't that what's called? And battle him. Come on in. Generates a bunch of mana, and then either uses Pass in the Flames to cycle everything, and then either cast a giant Epic Experiment or hard cast a Burn at the Stake with a bunch of tokens out. And both of those conditions usually win. Zach's playing a Primal Surge deck where the only card in the deck that's not a permanent is Primal Surge. If he resolves Primal Surge, he wins the game by flipping a Door to Nothingness, untapping it with his Zealous Conscripts, and activating it with his infinite mana. But he's playing a lot of Defenders, he's playing Axebane Guardians, and he's playing a lot of fun cards like Niv Mizzet, Gristlebrand, Zealous Conscripts, Deadeye, Navigator, Gilded Lotus combo, and then the aforementioned Primal Surge. I'm now joined in the booth, in the broom closet I should say, by the Top Gun himself. You saw his hat make an appearance in the feature match. The man, the myth, the legend, the only person in the store to have their own token.
I haven't even touched myself with it.
Out of context.
Now I've touched myself.
Adam Vickers and Garrett Meadows.
Oh, crap.
The gang's all here.
Vickers is stuck.
Garrett Meadows just, he had to work late tonight, right? Maybe. So,
I'll smart out if you want me to.
No, it's just explaining late appearance, and then Vickers, you were not able to play tonight, or didn't want to play tonight. You were busy getting a bearded dragon.
I did.
Get a new pet tonight.
I'm not going
to name. I'm going to try to keep this PG on the stream, but
he's a magnet of some sort.
A certain body part magnet. We'll just leave it at that. So, guys,
with chick magnet.
Yeah, the chick magnet.
But that is fun. So,
Magic.
yeah. So here's what's going on. This is round 4. We have 5 rounds tonight. The first feature match was Esper control deck getting basically nut drawn twice by Chris Harless's Rakdos deck. So that match ended very quickly.
Chris
yes, and then so I've decided to put Max Turner, who's playing the deck that Facebook decided for him to play.
Which they did a good job.
Yeah, Burn at the Stake.
Burn at the Stake?
He's playing Burn at the Stake, and Zach Viglianco is playing his homebrew Primal Surge deck. Max is up a game. So turn 2 Goblin Electromancer from, this is way behind for some reason. Turn 2 Goblin Electromancer for Max, and then turn 3 Nevermore for
What do you think he
Zach.
named?
I don't know. He should name Burn at the Stake, I think. Maybe.
Maybe they're telling.
Thank you.
So you think if Max played against vampires or werewolves, he'd have a better matchup against any other
Also, I
deck?
assume Logan's done with his match. Since he's
Playing Burn at the
Stake.
Yeah. Logan Cutler just came in to deliver the gutter snipe message, which means he's probably won because his deck is super broken.
4 kill.
Yeah. Question in the chat about whether we can see the deck list. I don't have the deck list available for the Primal Surge deck right offhand. I'll find you the Epic Experiment deck. So Gutter Snipe was the Nevermore card. There's Axebane Guardian, which is surprisingly the key to his deck.
Oh, that's what a bearded dragon is. I thought it was like a way you cut your man hair.
No.
So two
Into a bearded dragon.
So 2 Goblin Electromancers.
Zach's trying to ignore us.
I'm just trying to paste this. So the deck list for Max's deck is in play. So there's 2 Thatcher's Revolts.
A
No,
lot of goblins in play now.
2 Thatcher's Revolts because he has double. Each of them only costs red,
Ah.
Yeah.
and he's going to cast Reforge the Soul,
That seems
which
pretty
is
good.
Wheel of Fortune basically.
Do you
So
have enough mana up to battle him?
yes, because he has.
Because he has goblin electromancers. Oh, this is bad. This is bad for the
Plus Zach had to pitch one of his doors.
battle him.
There's Battle
Battle
Him,
Him.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can experiment here. He has Krinko's command. Yep.
He's commanding.
So he's got 5 more. He's got Past in Flames. Past in Flames.
Battle him flashback.
Yeah. He has 1 floating here.
I like how Zach still has his cards in his hand.
This is revolting.
Like he's gonna get to make another play.
Well, I mean, it depends on how many.
Is there a Fervor in the deck?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, all the
But the
units have
Thatchers,
haste.
the Thatchers all have haste. He really wanted to get an Epic Experiment or a Burn at the Stake there. Another command.
Does Zach run sweepers?
He runs a Detention Sphere. He doesn't have, he can't play non-permanent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I mean, he does have some post-sideboard, but he usually doesn't bring them in. 11 Thatcher's tokens.
Who's so awesome? Chat says someone's so awesome.
Well, that's you.
I'm a top guy now.
Oh, he's cast. For those of you who missed it, he just cast another Reforged Assault. So let's do it all again.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Oh, you know.
Is there?
If only we knew how much.
I lost track of how much mana he has. Another command. God, this is a lot of fun. Maxx has now run out of tokens.
So, well, it seemed like, did he only have 2 goblin tokens?
No, he had a bunch. Make him count it. Make him count it up. 11, 17.
How big was that? How big was it?
I think there was 19 creatures. So 19 times 3 is 30.
17 creatures.
17, so it's 34, 51.
Yeah, that's pretty good on terms
Burn,
of war.
burn at the stake for frick, I almost swore, for freaking 51.
I think that's worthy of a square.
Some might call that a highlight of the week.
Yeah,
But he reforged. I mean, Wheelforge is a heck of a magic card,
Yeah.
and doing it twice and still having mana floating to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's a double. I think Zach, if he had thought about it, he probably lost to. Well, he in the first game he probably lost to Gutter Snipe triggers because it does kind of have that dual thing.
I watched it and.
Yeah, but I would name Birth the Stake.
Gutter Snipe,
And then that game goes very differently.
But
No, you can hear him talking about it. He didn't know that he was playing Burn at the Stake, yeah. Because we've been in here talking to Zach a lot tonight, but we've been mostly talking about Zach's deck, because Zach's deck is a lot. It's the only deck in here that's cooler than Max's deck, just because it has Door to Nothingness. We can probably find another feature match. We got 25 minutes left in the match, so you guys can feel free to talk about something, or I will try and go get some more. I've been telling people to come see us in Columbus.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I will be there.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm riding up with Vince and them.
Are you just going for the day?
No, both days. I'm going to do the standard the first day and then probably side events the second.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because we're going up on Saturday, but not early, because we're not playing the event, but Ian wants to do the draft open on Sunday.
Yeah.
Straggy?
No, Ian don't say.
Because the price that you can pay to get into the open, you can do like 2 or 3 drafts.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I
it's
just
better
want to
product.
go to hang out.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah, no doubt.
But yeah. All right, I'll get you a match.
So what deck are you playing in the standard?
Sadly, probably American Flash. Which I'm going to be playing a lot of mirrors.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to any Bay control mirrors.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have about playing. But I don't know what else to play. Like, I'd like to go back to, like, Bant mid-range.
Yeah, I actually
why not just play Bant control?
brewed up a Bant mid-range deck that had Wolfear Silverheart, Restoration Angel, Thragtusk, Armada
all the
Worm,
good stuff.
and Feeling of Dread.
Yeah, because you're not going to play anything until turn
One
3. Yeah. That's the only problem is you're not going to play anything until turn 3, really, that impacts anything. But
Well, I figured out that having a sideboard full of Rock's Faith Menders is also
yeah, it's really good.
pretty counter to the aggro decks. There was a play I made last week. A Naya aggro deck had 3 Oblivion Rings out, holding 3 Thragtusks, and I had 2 Rock's Faith Menders in play. And I finally found my 1 Detention Sphere. So I gained 60 life. Play 1 Detention Sphere, 3 mana, gain 60 life. It was pretty fun play.
It's not going to happen.
Not cool.
There's only like 2 matches that are still going. One of them is a player that will not play on camera, I know, from the past weeks. And the other one's like in the middle of the game.
Then the other one's JB Roberts. No one wants to watch him.
They're done. So why don't we switch back? Do you guys want to talk about some spoilers? Been looking at spoiler cards?
No, I'm not looking at spoiler cards.
I like the Demir.
Well, we haven't talked about that one or the Orzhov yet, so those are ones we're going to talk
We
about.
talked about it last night.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it.
All the stuff we did last night, Zach.
I missed that. Stupid work.
You did not win the rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, I did?
Care anymore.
You know who
He's
won?
talking to me.
I know, it's sad.
Hello, everyone. So I apologize. There's a bunch of time left in the round, but we've only got 24 people tonight because it is the holiday season, so people are busy and stuff like that. So there's not when you have like 40 people playing FNM, you can find a lot of matches. But when there's only 12 pairings every round, it sometimes doesn't work out. So there's only 2 matches left. I imagine the round's going to be over relatively quickly. One of the matchups I know the guy won't play on camera, and then the other one they're in the middle of it. So it's just us talking about nonsense for the next however many rounds. So we did talk about STG Columbus, right? You're all
A little bit.
we're all going. We're all going for multiple days, right?
We talked about the Legacy deck that I'm going to be playing Sunday.
Did you decide on what you're playing?
Belcher.
So if you see this guy at the Legacy Open, mold the Force of Will every time.
Yeah, I mean, that'd probably be a good deck to play because it's always going to be quick.
Yeah.
And use the bathroom, which I think is very important.
That's actually one of the things, like, that's why I like playing red decks, because I like beatdown.
Yeah.
But I also like being done every, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because then you can enjoy yourself. You don't have to be, like, I could never go to, like, a big tournament and play, like Esper Control, like Esper Stoneblade.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that would just be the worst. The only thing worse than that would be, like, Storm. Because, like, it's just like I'm traveling, I'm paying $40 to do a math problem for 10 hours.
Yeah.
I love playing Control, but playing Control at large events is pretty rough on your bladder.
It is. It's interesting. Do you remember? Okay, so Grand Prix Indianapolis, that was in March. It's the only Grand Prix I ever played in. And then one of the guys that top 8'd he was playing Dredge, and he wrote a couple articles for TCG Player afterwards. One was about his thing. He actually lost round 1 to a friend of mine, and then won out to make the top 8. And then I think he lost the quarterfinals. I don't think he lost the semis. But he wrote his first article was about Dredge and how to play Dredge and stuff like that. His second article was how to play Belcher, because there's only 2 decks he plays. And his thing is like the most important thing with Belcher is to bring a book or bring some snacks or bring something to occupy yourself, because you will be done. And if you don't do that, you'll be super bored. So it's a factor.
Dog all your friends.
Well,
Old D's Nuts, your favorite. You're a foil. He said
if he comes to Columbus, we're meeting in the parking lot.
He said we should call this segment "Just Talking About Beards."
I'm not part of the club.
Oh.
I was listening to a podcast today. I listened to his Sklar Brothers podcast, and they were talking about Maury Povich today. And of course, I thought about you, because is that not your favorite TV show?
It's up there. And I got to see Maury first, because he ripped up a DNA test because the father did not want to know the results of it, because he was going to be a father anyway. And Maury was like, all right then. So they were coming on another show because now he doesn't want to know the results.
High drama.
The main reason I want to play Belcher is it's one of the decks where you can solitaire practice.
So you have no friends. That's the deck for no friends.
Well, geez, I don't know. Maybe I made a Facebook group to practice for SCG Columbus, and I keep poking people, prodding them, trying to get some play
I've been working 11 to 9 every day.
I just want to mention one thing. There's a interesting discussion that's going on in the chat about like why people would not want to play on camera. Like, obviously, like, they can't see the chat while they're playing. They can't see the commentary.
This has no witness protection.
But, like, no, like, it's a very legitimate thing. And there's several people who don't want to play on camera. Even people who've played on camera before get tired of it. And that's because, like, you do have your plays scrutinized. If you make a mistake, it's much more memorable than if you did. And plus, a lot of people don't like to go back and, like, they go back and watch themselves, and they're their own harshest judge. And it's just, like, kind of uncomfortable. So I have no problem with people saying no.
I mean, you're playing for... money. You're playing for packs, so having less pressure on you, if that's what you want, then that's fine.
Some people actually like playing on camera because it makes them like play tighter.
It makes my nipples so hard.
When I like to go back and see, where I may have messed up at, what I could have done.
I would like to watch.
Then I like to go back and listen to what people have said about me in this booth.
Yeah. Also, witness protection. Yeah, you were commenting about things like what was it we kept saying about you, and you're like, I don't do it that much, or what? Way early in the history of our stream, I remember there's some... I can't remember.
Lands or...
How do you shuffle?
Whatever.
How do you shuffle?
All right, let's talk about spoiler cards. I apologize, Garrett. It is going to end up covering you up, but that's the perils of being in the middle. So you were talking earlier about the Dimir card. It was spoiled early this morning. It's called Whispering Madness 2, blue and a black. Each player discards his or her hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. That's Windfall, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but it has Cipher, and Cipher is the new ability, or the new mechanic from House Dimir in Return of Ravnica block. Basically, you, as a part of resolution of this spell, you exile it, encoded on a creature you control. Now, why they chose to use the word encoded?
Instead of imprint.
Yeah, or just anything like... They already have Cipher. You could just say Cipher. You could call the thing encode, and then like encode this on the. Like, I understand why they made up a separate word.
Because you
It's
load
just
it.
it's
and
like
then you play-
unnecessarily complicated, but that is just like Dimir cards in general. They're very complicated. So you exile it on the creature you control. Then whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, its controller can cast a copy of the spell without paying its mana cost. So basically, all the spells that have Cipher end up being like something like Haunt. From original Ravnica Orzhov cards, but basically it turns all the cards into Ophidians, or like Shadow Mage Infiltrator. Like when they do damage to something, it triggers. So, what are your what guild are you? Like thematically, like what guild do you click the button for?
I don't know. I guess
You don't have one?
I mean,
I'm Azorius.
I mean, is
Okay.
I would think,
So, but you're blue guys, so this is like
Yeah.
kind of your thing. What do you think? What is the Adam Vickers take on, like, first of all, this card, and then also Cipher as a mechanic?
I like Cipher as a mechanic because I think it would be cool to have like an Ophidian type effect, like maybe draw a card, discard a card, or something like that, or just like draw a card, lose two, just something that gives me back the Ophidian. I'd really like, but also I've never really wanted to have maybe this ability put onto a creature where I discard my hand and then draw. I guess maybe because I'm more of a control player. I can see that, like an aggro, that's pretty good if you put it on, like, an Invisible Stalker against a control player, because you basically fill your hand back up and they get rid of it.
So that's the main thing. I mean, Garrett, wasn't it you were talking about last night about how, like, when people see this card, Invisible Stalker is the immediate thing.
Well, that's the best
The
thing
curve
to put
would
it on,
be
really.
Guy's St. Draft.
Yeah.
Like, Guy's St. Draft 3, and then Battle 4.
Here's my opinion.
But the Visible Stalker, I guess, really is the thing that always is going to get it.
Yeah, and so you like Cypher's mechanic. What do you think about the card itself, this specific card?
I don't like that specific card.
I think this card is balls. I mean, I don't think it's very narrow.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. There's not...
Like, there's windfall effects already that nobody plays. Like, you have to build your deck around it, and the Dimir cards are not the ones you want to be pitching your hand to. But I think Cypher is a fine mechanic. I think it's unnecessarily complicated, and I do think you have to. I mean, obviously you have to build your deck around it, because the decks that want this kind of effect are usually like control-y, mid-rangey decks, and they're usually not the ones that are.
Want to discard your hand.
Well, yeah, and also like a lot of the control decks aren't going to have a dude to put it on.
Yeah.
Or a dude that's going to be able to pound through. So it'll be interesting. I think Cypher is going to be awesome. Yeah, if they're going to print a card with Cypher, which is super playable, and we're just going to have to see what it is.
If that's the mechanic, and it's just changed to whatever, there's effects that you just can't have. Like, you can't have a murder. I mean, I don't think you can have, like, a Mind Rot, like I was talking about last night. You can't have, like, a Mind Rot effect, because that's just too strong. If you cast Mind Rot, and then you get to imprint it on a guy, and then swing with it and Mind Rot him again...
You mean I'm not going to be able to have a Ponder effect on a creature?
Exactly.
No, but if they have something like a bounce, like a seal of removal, like bounce a creature or something like that, like I think this is one of those things where we'll just have to wait and see. Like, some of the mechanics I know are good to begin with, and on a lot of different cards, and this one we'll just have to wait and see. Like, free spells are cool, but like the Dimir is not the kind of deck that traditionally has a bunch of creatures to stick stuff on. And usually they don't really care about sticking it on them because they just want to put Grave Titan down and attack with it. They don't need any free spells.
I don't think these are...
Lone Revenant.
Yeah.
That's the one where you...
Impulse, whenever it hits, 4/4 hexproof.
But they also, I don't think these are like the flagship cards.
No.
I mean, the Boros could be, because
we talked about that one a lot. Yeah. It's very close. It just sucks because, like, in the Boros colors, the 4-drop slot is already smashed with good cards, and then the question is, like, is it better than Hellrider? Is it better than Restoration Angel in certain decks?
Boros.
Yeah,
said Boros.
Boros. So, yeah, I'm trying to think what's going on. Old Rocket 27 has basically it's an artificially increased power level and mechanic. It's basically an enchant creature card, but way better. There's true to that. It basically plays as an aura. But the key with this kind of card, as just with all the cards that have specific mechanics, is the card good enough to play by itself? Because if it's an inherently good card, you're going to play it, and if you get value out of it, so be it. It's like the cards of Battalion. Like, the main thing that makes Battalion awesome is in that deck, you're going to attack anyway. Like, you're going to try to attack with 3 creatures regardless of whether you get a bonus for it. So if you get a bonus for it, especially something like Lightning Helix,
Why would you want to get rid of a block?
Yeah, but that requires no setup. That just requires playing the card. This requires some setup. You got to have the dude. You got to have a card that makes it worthwhile. So we'll just have to, I think we'll just kind of have to wait and see. I think Cypher's cool, but I think it's like you said, it's going to be one of those cards where we're going to have to see what the crux card is.
I think the Orzhov one is definitely going to be the mechanic for control decks, especially the mirrors and stuff like that, because that one life can definitely.
Yeah, let's talk about that one.
Make a difference. Well, maybe not now with Rakdos and Strings of Revelation and all that, but...
Well, that stuff will rotate too, but it might be I mean, you see, as we'll bring up the Orzhov card, what's it called?
If they print that on a non-creature permanent, like an Oblivion Ring type thing, and then it has the...
It's called Extort.
Yeah.
It's a good mana sink, so basically what we're talking about, here's the one that was spoiled a couple days ago. It's called Treasury Thrall. 4 white and a black gets you a 4/4 Thrall. Good to see Thralls coming back all the way from Fallen Empires. They were bad then, they'll probably be bad now.
Well, let's get some ballads.
Extort. Basically, Extort says if you have a permanent in play that has Extort, when you cast a spell, you can pay either white or black, so the Orzhov colors. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So basically, Extort is Blood Artist trigger that you can activate by paying an extra mana anytime you cast a spell. So it is it's a card, like, Blood Artist is one of those cards that seems like really innocuous until it just destroys you. Like, just playing playing 1/0/1 creature, like, makes your Supreme Verdict, like, uncastable.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think you said, like, it's an interesting tempo kind of thing. And it also, like, it opens itself up as like a white-black, especially if they're like hybrid cards that have Extort. Like, can you just play like a mono black beatdown deck and play like 8 Blood Artist effects or something like that, or something like? It'd be interesting to see.
You get it off your cantrips. Like if you're playing Esper Control.
Yeah.
You get it. You get.
And the incremental life gain is like not arbitrary by any means. Like, it gives you an alternate win condition in the aggro decks, and it lets you gain like a substantial amount of life theoretically. I mean, just gaining 3 or 4 life a lot of times makes a difference in the match. Yeah, and then we're obviously ignoring his other ability. Whenever Treasury Thrall attacks, you may return target artifact, creature, or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand, which of course means that this card is specifically designed for Commander, because that's super awesome in Commander. Because Commander is somewhere where you can play a 4/4 for 6 just because of his attack.
It was a 6/6 for 6.
So here's the thing someone pointed out. Here's someone pointed out last night. He'd be way too good for 6 mana. The Titans were too good for 6 mana. They're not going to print this guy that rebuys something.
They printed the other guy with 6.
This is
6/6 for 6 mana, basically. The Gruul.
Yeah, but he sucks. Like, he's a vanilla 6/6 for 6.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you get haste or trample, he'd be awesome.
You're going to most often use that guy as a bad giant growth. Is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But this is funny too. Like, they printed this card like 30 months after they printed a 4/4 for 3. Like, Loxodon Smiter is the same power toughness as this card. Yeah. So it's just tough to, like. I think this card is basically a Commander card. I mean, it's going to be good and like limited and stuff like that. But
I think we'll see standard play.
I don't know. It's a lot of mana for like a card that I don't think does what you want to do. It is cool that it triggers on attack. It's like the Titan.
You're not going to want to attack. I think if it was upkeep.
It rebuys too. It doesn't put it back on. Like, the reason that, I mean, you of all people would know the reason that Sun Titan was so awesome is because it just puts it back on the battlefield. But I don't know. It's super cool. Like, I don't play Esper or Orzhov in Commander, so I've never played with these colors. But let me see. It's pretty good. Seems pretty good. So those are those creatures. That's all the spoilers, right? We've already talked about. We've beat the other ones to death. We talked about that Gruul one for like forever. No, I didn't. We were just talking about the 5 that they spoiled this week. But yeah. So. Well, there's the one that showed up. Yeah, it's another Evolve card that showed up conveniently in somebody's like return around like a draft at FNM, which is probably just viral marketing.
I'll take that because then I'm going to play it as a legal card.
It wasn't very good. It was just another Evolve card that like.
Draft.
Yeah. So that's what that is. If you have any thoughts or whatever about those cards, feel free to chime in the chat, as everyone is. Just check out and see.
I don't like the Evolve mechanic. I think it's way too stiff.
Which one?
The Evolve mechanic.
I don't know. It's going to be
with an uncountable wrath on the block.
I mean,
it just depends on like what. I mean, I don't really think it's that great, but there might be some niche decks that.
Well, I mean, just like.
Someone's saying talk about them again. All right, let's talk about the other ones.
Well, I mean, just like with the counters, like they did with Detention and stuff like that. the frog that would give them hexproof or
Frog.
you know that if the creature had a counter +1/+1 counter on it, it'd get like hexproof or shroud and all this. I mean that +1/+1 counters will probably take effect, and also you can put them on your opponent's unleash. You can make.
Can you put them on your parents' unleash card?
Yeah. I really butchered that. I'm not a tough gun at all.
You can activate your Gavany Township or your Macias Lunark and draw cards.
Yeah. So this is the Simic one we were talking about. It has evolved where if a creature... One thing that's interesting about this is both power and toughness. I thought it was just power at first.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. And this one specifically... This one specifically is lets you draw cards if it gets a counter on it. And it's all counters, not just evolve counters. So, of course, when this card's spoiled, everyone talks about the nuts, which is... miracling blessing increasing savagery. Yeah. So you draw 4 cards or whatever. I mean that's good. Yeah, but like if you build a deck around that, like your deck sucks. You know what I mean? Like I've built my deck around a card I have to like miracle and can never draw, and a 4 cost 1/1.
That's cool, guy. In response, I'm 7.
Like, that's one thing I talked before earlier, and for those who've already seen it, like, I when spoiler season comes, I'm just like this bitter old man, because I get so tired of people talking in, like, specifics and, like, definites.
You're like,
well, they're just like,
Sonny, they're just like, oh, when we have this card.
This card is going to be awesome. Imagine it's a great scenario if I play this one card and this other card and this other card, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, as long as you always draw those cards and your opponent is not interacting with you at all. Like, as long as your opponent's not trying to counter your magic, counter your spells, remove your creatures, or beat you by the time you like assemble this absurd combo. But evolve is like in a mechanic. This card's really good in EDH, but like the
what card is really good in EDH?
I mean, a lot of cards are very good in EDH. But I mean, they're going to spoil cards that are fun. They want to.
Start naming the bad cards for EDH.
Mountain. Mountain's pretty bad in EDH. Okay, so this guy. But this is like we've talked about before. Like I mean, obviously, like
pretty good for EDH.
Yeah, it is really good. The thing about this is really you love your Dan. The thing about this evolve thing is that like if they've already said that there's going to the head of the Simic Guild is Merfolk now, and so like Merfolk is going to get pushed a little bit. So like if they make evolve cards that have like a good trigger, like if you play like your 1-drop, if they play like a 1-drop or a 2-drop that's good, it has evolve, then you curve into like a 3-drop or something, and it gives you some kind of tempo. Like when this card gets a counter, like bounce something, or like something gets +X, or it gets unblockable or something. Like there could be tempo cards, but like they have to be pretty specific. And you have to it's all about the curve. The only evolved cards that are going to be useful are the ones that cost 1 and 2 mana.
Yeah, because
because you don't want to. Yeah, like by the time you would get to this kind of like mana cost, like surely there's something better you could do with your slow deck. Like, would you ever want to like not cast would you ever want to have this card in your deck other than like
Relentless or Storm Lord?
Well, just like you talked about before, all of a sudden Spider costs 3 mana for a 4/4.
Yeah.
This is 4 mana for a 1/1, but you have to play another card for it to do anything.
Mm-hmm. I also said on Twitter this week that I wish I could save all of the comments, and then just 3 months later, like remind everyone to like. Yeah, there's a player that plays Dead in Huntington that the guy's lambasted because like he once said Geist of St. Traff was a horrible card. Yeah. It's just like it's like clearly wrong. So like once you say that, then I don't really care about the rest of your card evaluation skills. All right, have a good time. Thanks for sitting in. They're also giving a hard time to another local player who has pro points. He used to play really and he's like giving very like level-headed comments. They're like, no, you're wrong, and I'm like, clearly he is not because he's very good at this game.
I think I might know who you're talking about, and he's a very good.
Yes, and he's very straightforward. Yeah. So you're playing Bruna, right? Bruna, go Bruna it up. Go and chant some people.
Armageddonless Bruna. I'm not a jerk anymore. No Armageddon, no Cataclysm. So it'll be a fair game.
What was the other one we haven't talked about? Later, bud. I don't want to talk about the Boris one because I got on a soapbox the first time around.
Oh, really? I missed that one.
I just
We're have to check that out to see.
I just I don't think it's that awesome.
You don't have to.
I think it's good.
You don't have to,
Trust me, I like to beat down. Yeah. Can you confirm that I like to beat down? Back when I used to play Magic, in Standard I like to beat down. In Legacy I like to do something that ends the game on turn 2, if I can.
Beat down.
I want to end the game as quickly as possible so I can go get a snack.
Well, beat down because then your opponent wants to beat down on you after you beat them.
They just want to beat me down in the face.
They just played a land and you're like, I win. And they're like, yep, you did. That was a fun game of Magic.
I'd like to think that I've cast the card Hive Mind more than anyone else in all of West Virginia Magic history.
I can say
I'm
that.
at least,
I think you could.
and I have annoyed the most people by doing such. But so here's Rubble Hulk. We talked about it earlier. It's like really not that relevant. I don't think it's relevant in Standard. But
Not that card.
but so
Blood
basically,
Rush, yeah.
we did talk about this. So if you're not familiar with this Blood Rush mechanic, basically it's like Channel. You discard this card, pay a cost, and it does something, as opposed to it's a regular spell. But the Blood Rush, Zach Viglianco was in here talking about earlier that like Mark Rosewater confirmed that the Blood Rush means it's the power of the creature that you discard that has Blood Rush that gives plus X to the card.
Okay,
so it's only
because it's like the land, and then
this one
this
is only plus X because the creature's card. So basically, if there was a 5/5 that had Blood Rush, you would discard it and give
Blood Rush though.
Yeah, probably not. But I mean, you never know. They usually like Blood Rush would be great if they print they're going to print one card that's like playable as a spell, and then has like an undercosted Blood Rush, and then it's going to be good.
Well, like I was telling Gibbs, he was asking me what I want to play for the pre-release, and I told him probably Rule because of Blood Rush, because combat tricks and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very advantage. Yeah. I mean, like it's like Scavenge. Like, cause like there's one card with Scavenge that's good. They're going to print like Scavenge is fine, I guess, but it's very slow and clunky. But like Dreadmangler is good by itself, and then occasionally you can just like so like they're going to print one card with Blood Rush that's going to be really good. We just have to wait to see what it is. It's not Rubble Hulk again. Good in EDH, but not even that good in EDH.
It's such a good thing to open up a pack and you look at your crap rare, but you're just like, oh, it's good in EDH, and it just kind of makes you feel a lot better for opening that.
Yeah, that one's good too because it's good in EDH because like you can just Blood Rush your general and just like immediately win.
And the bad thing about it is it costs 6, but that's not a 6 you want to ramp up into. Because if you ramp up to for turn 4, you pay 6 mana for 4/4 do nothing.
If your deck is designed to ramp onto 6 mana on turn 4 and cast that guy, you've done something wrong.
Yeah, there's no...
You've made your deck very, very poorly. Alright, so we'll talk about the Boros one because we still got some time to kill. But basically, Battalion is the key word, and Battalion is basically what Audric has. You attack with the creature with Battalion and 2 other creatures. It triggers Battalion and it does something. Fireman Avenger's Battalion trigger is Lightning Helix, which is very good.
Yeah.
So it can blast a blocker out of the way, or it can just nug your opponent. So basically, it attacks for 6 every turn. It does have evasion.
Actually, 12 in a way. Life swing.
Yes. Yeah. It is a significant life swing, but I mean it's good. But I think that what we really wait to see with the Battalion is I mean Boros, you're not trying to cast 4 drops like you want to cast undercosted
1,
stuff.
2, 3.
So if they have 1 drops or 2 drops that are aggressively costed and have Battalion, because again like we were talking about before, like with a card like Blood Rush, like you have to use your card. For a card like Cypher, you have to set it up with your resources.
Yeah.
For Battalion, you just have to attack and you're going to do it anyway. So I think this is my favorite keyword so far. Not just because it fits my style of play, but I think it's just the most powerful because it doesn't require any setup.
No, that's just like
you don't have to build around it.
Of the Lorwyn lands, the Windburst Kites.
Yes.
Basically the most powerful one.
It basically Windburst Kites has Battalion. Basically, you attack with 3 creatures, you get to cast a spell for free underneath it. Yeah, and like you said, like you put it in token decks and white weenie decks, you're going to attack with dudes anyway. So you just occasionally you lose a little bit of tempo with Windburst Kites because it comes into play tapped, but I mean, oftentimes for a free spell.
Yeah, that one doesn't have haste, so.
Well, that was this thing. Like I was talking about, like I don't want to talk about it, but like Hellrider occupies the same spot, and it has haste, and
But that has evasion.
Well, there's a lot of sorcery speed removal, and I just see this card getting dreadboard and.
Question: do you think that these cards that they premiered could be the pre-release cards? Mm-hmm. That we'll get the alternate art and everything like that. I mean, I know that they don't have to be, but it just seems...
If this is you mean like this is the card that you get with your pack?
Put in your deck.
Oh, then I'm playing Boros. Because this card's infinitely better. Yeah. Like, just having this in your deck is, like, infinitely better than any of the other cards. If that's the case...
Because, I mean, they're good shows in the mechanic.
I mean, could be, could not be. I don't think I don't think a Cypher card would be...
Oh, apparently they are the Legends. I did forget about that.
Oh, yeah, the Legends.
No. Another, no, there isn't one with the Spelljack Dragon. Or whatever, so they're not.
These nuts.
Yep. And so, I mean, those could be because, I mean, the pre-release ones weren't that great, but they showcased the mechanics and what the guilds were about.
This card does have good art.
Yes, it does.
That's what the
I've heard a lot about from.
Did you see
everywhere.
what? Did you see what Jeremy Bales donated
pretty
for me to
cool.
give away? So Matthew Brown, a viewer from his friend on we're on Facebook. He is from England, so he'll be getting this box topper, oversized Savannah Lions. It's a fun game you can play where it makes my head look super small.
Man.
They used to do these where like you bought a box and it came on top of it. Thus box topper, right?
Yeah. Well, it was like inside, but.
Yeah, it was like it's like a promotional card. It's the same thing as like the
buy box.
Remember when they did the Commander Day and everybody got free commanders?
Yeah.
Or the Hell Vault. You got
I remember that.
Big Grizzlebrand. Very excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything interesting going on? Okay, so D's Nuts is retracting his statement about that they're legends, but I mean we'll wait and see what it is. I don't.
Maybe they could be. I mean.
But anyway, I think they've kind of hit the mark on all of the mechanics. They all seem fine. I don't like Cypher just because I think it adds complexity in a way that I think is kind of like.
I mean, you could play that,
weird.
Snapcaster it, and then Cypher it.
Like I understand that they want to make it like the game a little bit more complex, but like that's just a really really weird way of doing it.
And you know,
there's going to be a lot of judge calls about Cypher.
Free spells are a little tricky too. And I know that they've tried to go away from that.
You remember the last free spells they cast? They printed. Remember how Mental Misstep got banned immediately?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and like
they shake the format.
Dismember shows up in every format.
Gut shot.
Yeah. So, not. What was the last free? What are the other free spells in the history of Magic? Rebound. That was honestly good.
Yeah, that was good. I think that's probably one of the most...
Yeah, because none of the rebound cards were that amazing.
No, I think that was probably the most...
Like, Stagger Shock was really good.
Yeah.
4 damage for 3. But, like, Emerge Unscathed was good, and...
The one where you...
Consuming Vapors, yeah. Gets him a cube. Stagger Shock was in my cube as well.
Yeah.
What was the white one where it was, like, gain 2 life and draw a card? And
if you have more life...
Survival Cache, is that it? I think that's
it. But you have to have more life than your opponent to draw a card, I believe. There's a stipulation for the card draw thing.
Yeah, and somebody else in the chat agreeing with the thing about using Cypher and Encode, coming up with 2 new, one keyword and one just, actual word. It's just kind of confusing. I like the effect. I really like the effect of the card, having the free spells and stuff like that, but I don't know, I'm not as excited about that as I am other ones. But Flashback is kind of free. I mean, it's not free at all. But I mean, you get too used to that, but it's not really free. Anything else that's free?
Cloud of Fairies, those untapped.
Oh yeah, the untapped spells. Yeah. Those were mostly broken. The Time Spiral is very broken. You know.
Holocron was, you gotta bring it back.
And then of course the pitch spells. I mean, Force of Will is one of the most broken cards.
I mean, I think that's out of all the pitch spells. I mean, that's pretty much.
When Standard was, because I played Standard during Alliances, like, do you remember a card called Contagion?
Yeah, I mean, that was
playable.
Well,
Bounty of the
Hunt. Too.
Yeah, Bounty of the Unmasked is very good. Bounty of the Hunt was playable as well. The red one, I can't remember. That must not have been good. And the white one, I can't remember either. White one was like Healing Salve. The white ones are always like Healing Salves, and they're always awful.
And then you had the Kamigawa, the Shoals.
And they proved to be broken too. Because, I mean, they banned one of those, too.
Yeah.
So
there's circumstances. I mean,
but those are played free from your hand. This one, like, is free, but you have to set it up. Yeah. You know, it's a free spell that dies to creature removal. Seems fine. You know Scarlett Johansson making an appearance?
Yeah.
Black on her face or whatever. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about? I'm trying to think. We showed it before, and we'll show it again. The first ever Adam Vickers token.
I'd like to take one to Columbus with me, because, I mean, how often...
We got to talk to the Taylors.
I know.
You can borrow this one, but this one's mine.
All right. I said I don't even have one.
Well, it's because I was the one who asked him if he could make one.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's Michael and his wife Sarah made those. It's very cool. I'd like to make. It's a relatively simple process. I'd like to do some as well too, because I don't want to have to keep.
So I don't have a printer. Or I don't have a bajillion of those.
Yeah, my work has a printer, so.
Well, mine does too, but it's not a color.
Oh, Affinity! We forgot Affinity.
Yeah.
It's also. Oh my goodness! I want to talk about it. I don't know how much time is left, and I don't have a list for it or anything like that. But somebody on my Twitter feed, one of like it's not a pro, I don't think, but somebody posted this deck. I guess he saw it in a daily or something on Moto. But it is the coolest thing in the world. It's a Birthing Pod deck that's Affinity. But what it does is it basically plays out like Frogmites for free and pods them into Zealous Conscripts, untaps, pods them into like a Titan. Or it plays Mirror Enforcer for free, pods it into Gristlebrand or Craterhoof Behemoth. It's really, it's very interesting.
Oh my gosh, yes it is.
I mean, like, I wanted a list because I wanted to jam some games and see, like, is it viable?
Well, I mean, it had to be like that one thing where you can only play it once. Because then nobody knows what you're doing. Like, I'd be like, alright, you just played Birthing Pod and a Frogmite. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
and then
because
you're
it chains
like,
up.
Conscript, untap, bam, I'm like, oh.
Yes, he plays, I forget which ones it plays. It plays Inferno Titan, and it plays, it played another 6-drop, I can't remember. But the 8-drops were...
K is probably...
the 8-drops were Grizzlebrand, and Craterhoof Behemoth obviously was the most fun. And I think there was a couple other 8-drops in there too. But like before that, it's just a Springleaf drum deck. Like it just plays Affinity cards, and you can just smash that way. I don't think it plays Plating. I'm not sure if it, I can't remember if it does or not, but I just thought that was really cool. And remember, the Birthing Pod's an artifact, so it helps with Affinity.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like, people stop playing Frogmites really early in the Affinity builds because it's just kind of too slow and doesn't really do anything. And then, I don't know if Mirror Enforcer ever got played. It got played, never in Modern, but even in Legacy, it used to be like a 1 or 2 of, and now it's not played at all.
Yeah, I don't think Robots plays it in Modern.
Yeah, I refuse to call it that. Because they just, they'll call like a deck that's like, they'll call like a deck that just uses the graveyard but isn't a dredge deck dredge. But they won't call Affinity Robots because they're like, oh, it doesn't have any Affinity cards in it. It's like the blue one plays.
Well, and I think a lot
Thoughtcast has Affinity.
I think a lot of it has to do with the connotations of when people used to play.
I don't care. It's they're rules lawyering us on our names.
But it's just
Bring back Affinity. Yeah, come in. Hey, Logan. What's going on out there? Huh? What's going on out there?
I don't know. I have no idea what's taking so long.
Because we've been done here. I apologize. We've been talking for a good half hour, I think.
Kind of good old Commander game out there. Why don't you commentating on it?
Okay, so I think our boy D's Nuts come through with the. Yep, there it is. So I will. Let me see if I can save this image.
Gosh, I might have to dig out my Glamour Voids.
I want this so bad.
What?
This token.
Oh, the Adam Vickers token?
It's awesome.
Everybody loves it. It's because he's a local legend.
I wish I had a different pack of cards in my hand.
What is the pack again?
It's
It's from the Mini Master.
Yeah, it's my Mini Master deck from Game Day.
Okay, so just bear with us, guys. I am pulling up. Our boy D's Nuts found the screenshot online. So let's take a look at this bad boy. Of a cool deck that just showed up. Okay, so your Land Blaze is Glimmer Voids, your Blink Moth Nexuses, and Mox Opals. You're playing Ornithopters and Midnights. And you're playing all the Springleaf Drums. You're playing 3 Sea Beyond, because this is like a polymorph deck. Like, you don't ever want to draw the 8-drops. So you're shuffling those back in. It's playing 2 Trinket Mages, I assume to find your Springleaf Drum. Well, no, but it's playing 1 Treasure Mage.
Yeah, okay, I didn't.
The Trinket Mages are weird to me because, like, I guess they get like Mox Opal. Like, I mean, I guess they're fine, but the Treasure Mage you're gonna obviously pod into. Then there's Frogmite, which, like you said, helps in the Birthing Pod. Frogmite chains into the 5-drop, which is Cloud Goat Ranger, which is neat. But then the Zealous Conscript, which you can immediately untap and then go Inferno Titan or Wormcoil. Then your 8-drops, if you play Mirror Enforcer for free, you go to Gristlebrand and Craterhoof Behemoth, which seems really, really, really fun. So that's neat. And then it's got some alternates down here. It's got Eldritch Killworm, it's got a Filigree Angel, it's got an Elish Norn. So pretty cool. I asked the guy who posted that if there was like a deck list in paper, and I don't think there was one, but I'll type one up and then put it on the website after the fact. What else have we talked about that I need to recap on? A lot of recap stuff going on this week. So, Affinity Pod, is that what it's called?
I would assume. Robot Pod.
No.
What would it be? Good.
So, anyway, all right. So, round 5 pairings are up. It is the winning end. So, we'll go out there, find somebody's match that is relevant, come back in here, and fire off with the next round. So, I'm going to switch back to the other camera. If it pauses for whatever reason, just wait it out or refresh. We've been having good luck tonight, so hopefully it should work. So, just stay with us.